Put your leg in the car and have a seat, okay?
Oh my gosh.
All right?
This is Rosie Marie Kyles, a mother, returned to her hotel room after her shift, believing her 2-year-old daughter was peacefully asleep in bed. But that moment set the stage for an irreversible tragedy. On the evening of May 2nd, 2023, at a hotel in Duluth, Georgia, those idyllic memories were quickly replaced by the wailing of ambulance sirens and panic.
No, babe, what did you do?
I gave her melatonin so she could go to sleep. I didn't think she would, like...
The person with Trinity during that critical time was Rosie's boyfriend, Malik Khyree Kennedy, and what happened in Rosie's absence became the focus of a haunting criminal investigation.
No, but I don't know. I just got home from work, and she's froze up.
The child is identified as Trinity Maria Kyles, born April 9th, 2021, in Savannah, Georgia. Family members later describe her as joyful and expressive, often smiling in photos, dancing to music played on a tablet used for video calls with relatives, and pressing buttons on the screen just to make people laugh. Those everyday memories frame the severity of what responders are now dealing with. On the evening of May 2nd, 2023, Trinity's mother, Rosie, returns from work to the Quality Inn Hotel in Duluth, Georgia, where she, her daughter, and her boyfriend, Malik Khyree Kennedy, have been staying. During her shift, Rosie had left Trinity in Kennedy's care. When she enters the room, she sees Trinity lying on the bed and initially assumes the child is sleeping. Kennedy appears overwhelmed, and the two briefly discuss future childcare plans, including daycare options. Kennedy expressed frustration at caring for Trinity. Expressing frustration with a toddler isn't normal stress. It's an early sign that patience and emotional control may have been diminished. As the conversation continues, Rosie checks on Trinity again and realizes her daughter is not waking up. She becomes alarmed and calls 911. While Rosie was still on the phone, an officer arrived at hotel room 206. There, Rosie was found in a state of panic, Trinity lying face up on the bed and unresponsive. Kennedy was also in the room.
Hold on.
Yes, my baby. Oh my God, baby. Tell him what happened.
Okay, so basically, I ended up giving her melatonin to, like, go to sleep.
No, babe, what did you do?
I gave her melatonin so she could go to sleep. I didn't think she would, like, freaking do all that.
No, but I don't know. I just got home from work, and she's froze up. Oh,
Ma'am.
Yes. Please help, please. I'm about to have a heart attack. I just got back home.
When asked what happened, Kennedy says he gave Trinity melatonin to help her sleep and claims he did not expect anything to escalate. Melatonin is not intended for children under 3 years old, and why use supplements instead of supervising and playing with the child? Dispatchers provide CPR instructions. Body camera footage shows the responding officer performing chest compressions, while Rosie and Kennedy argue in the background.
I'm going to tell you everything, I swear.
And
Look at
remove
her
pads.
face.
Then place down rapidly 1/3 depth of chest, then release. Start CPR. Press, press, press.
Rosie repeatedly asks what happened, her tone shifting from confusion to distress as she struggles to understand how her daughter reached this condition. Paramedics arrive and continue emergency medical efforts for several minutes. The officer steps outside with Rosie and other responders. Rosie notices marks on Trinity's face and asks officers directly about them, questioning whether Kennedy could be responsible. She explains she was at work and left Trinity in his care.
That's your child?
Yes, that's
your child?
That's my child. That's my child.
What about him? Is he the dad? Not the dad? Did you leave the baby with him and you went out, or what?
I was at work.
Okay.
And I just got back from work.
Okay.
Kennedy remains inside the room, leaning against a wall and fidgeting with his hands. Rosie makes a phone call, expressing disbelief and stating she does not normally allow physical punishment.
What do you think happened?
I don't know, but he said he pinched her on the cheek. Like
Does he do that usually?
no, he don't usually do it, but I know she been like acting,
Yeah. Right.
They started at 1.5 really. I don't even be on her. I don't whip her, no nothing like that. Even like all my friends think I should be stricter. No, I don't. She's 2 years old. Let her do whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody can't handle that, so that's what it looks like. Everybody can't handle that. I even tell them that. I said if you can't handle it, because you're not used to being around kids.
Yeah.
Can you walk us in and on? It's 5:30 is open.
Right now, because I'm ready. Like it was a financial situation, so where I couldn't pay for daycare.
She emphasizes that she has been trying to afford daycare and would do anything to protect her child. At this stage, she still does not know whether Trinity will survive. Rosie shows officers photos of Trinity on her phone, describing her as active, intelligent, and recently having turned 2. Her anxiety increases as she waits for updates from medical personnel. An officer escorts Rosie to a police cruiser for separation purposes and conducts a precautionary pat-down. She is not under arrest.
This is just procedure, okay? All right. Ma'am, come here. I gotta pat you down first. Yeah. I'm just gonna pat you down for weapons. That's all it is, okay? You got a pen? Yeah. Okay.
Seated in the back of the cruiser, Rosie asks whether Kennedy will be detained if it turns out he harmed her daughter.
Once we get there, we'll get there. We're not there yet, okay?
Additional police units arrive. Rosie becomes alarmed by the growing law enforcement presence and repeatedly asks why so many officers are there. She is instructed to remain in the vehicle as responders continue their work.
I just need somebody to talk to.
I know, they're about to come talk to you. You gotta stay in the car. I know you're frustrated. You gotta stay in the car and we're gonna come talk to you in a minute, okay? You gotta, listen. Listen, I don't know anything, so you gotta stay in the car and wait for one of them.
Why are they here?
All right, put your leg in the car.
Why are they here? I need to know something. They're not
Calls
saying,
like this, everyone comes out. Calls like this, everyone comes out, okay? Just put your leg in the car and have a seat, okay?
Oh my gosh.
All right?
They need to tell me something. I just need to talk to something.
All right, they're gonna come talk to you in a minute, okay? All right.
Officers inform Rosie that despite all medical efforts, Trinity did not survive. She reacts with overwhelming grief. Trinity is pronounced deceased at the scene. Kennedy is placed in a separate cruiser and transported for questioning. The timeline moves from scene response into the interrogation phase. At approximately 8:23 p.m., Kennedy sits alone in an interrogation room. He appears tense, rubbing his fingers and staring upward. After roughly an hour, Detective Blackburn and Corporal Limber enter and begin the interview. Kennedy explains that he met Rosie online about 6 months earlier. They began living together in Duluth, Georgia, later relocating to the Quality Inn after an eviction. Trinity slept in the same room with them. He states Rosie left for work around 11 a.m., leaving him alone with Trinity. Kennedy says caring for Trinity was routine and occurred almost daily, often for extended periods. He describes feeling exhausted by the responsibility.
How many hours a day do you watch her?
Depends on what time she goes in, time she goes home.
I mean, does she usually work like an 8.5 hour day, or lunch and then dinner shift, a portion of it?
To like, it'd be like 3 to 1, 4 to 1.
So it's a lot of responsibility, it seems like, for you.
It is. I mean, we talked about that.
Playing video games for too long without adequate supervision is inappropriate for a 2-year-old and reflects neglect rather than care. Kennedy claims Trinity began misbehaving, screaming, spilling juice, knocking items over, and refusing to listen.
So when she left, kind of just walked me through the day, what did you guys do in the room?
Well, from the moment she left, it was pretty just normal. I played my game. She's on her tablet or doing whatever she does, but like I told Rose, she just has this thing where she'll flip out and start just doing the most, yeah, so she just always does the most, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. So her flipping out, like just misbehaving?
Mm-hmm. Like anything you can imagine.
I don't know, explain it to me.
He characterizes this behavior as typical for her and says Rosie generally allowed it. Kennedy admits he had disciplined Trinity in the past by physical contact as discipline or making her stand in a corner, though he says Rosie did not approve.
What did she do today? What did she do today?
Knocking things over, just screaming, hollering, type of stuff like that.
And does she do that with Rosie's when Rosie's in the room? Mm-hmm. And does Rosie allow that to happen? Yeah. Does Rosie discipline her? Like spank her in the butt or anything like that?
Not really.
No? Okay. Does she allow you to do that?
No.
No. Have you done that in the past?
To her?
Yeah. Like if she's misbehaving?
Yeah. Yeah.
But what do you do?
normally, like, before, like, at first, I just, like, it might be, like, I might pop her, and then, like, if anything else, then she's standing in the corner, like, you know, she's just standing in the corner, and that's it. Or I might not give her something like juice and the sugars and stuff that she be wanting. Yeah, so I take that away and she can get it.
His confession is evidence that physical discipline has become normalized, raising concerns that this incident may not be an isolated case. Investigators focus increasingly on the bruising observed on Trinity's face.
Now, did you ever give her any medicine today?
Yeah, I did.
What did you give her?
Melatonin.
Okay. When did you give her that?
Why did I give it to her?
When? What time?
I don't know the time. Maybe 3, 2.
I'm sorry?
Maybe 3, 2.
Okay. So, where did you put it in?
I just gave it to her. You know, regular, how we always do.
I don't know.
So just give it to her in her mouth. That's it.
Okay. So like is it
like a drop? It's a drop. Just.
So how many drop? Like how much did you give her today?
Pretty good amount. Like it was about halfway, almost. Not really at the top level.
Kennedy acknowledges giving Trinity melatonin around 3 p.m., estimating about half a dropper, despite the supplement being labeled for children aged 3 and older. He says Trinity slept intermittently afterward. This is a serious warning sign, suggesting that administering melatonin to control a young child's behavior reflects more of a caregiver's frustration than concern for the child's well-being. The Trinity Maria Kyles case wasn't just the passing of a 2-year-old child, but a series of missteps, from exhaustion and emotional imbalance to entrusting a vulnerable life to someone unfit to care for it. But that's not the whole truth. In Part 2, we'll delve into the forensic details, the inconsistencies in testimony, and the moment investigators began to suspect it wasn't just an accident. See you tomorrow on Lou, where Part 2 will continue to reveal what really happened behind the doors of room 206.